So in this short video, we will learn about what do we mean by a random variable. Okay. So there will be just a general introduction to what do we mean by random variable, and then we will leave it. Okay. We will learn about more about the random variables in other courses in the next few semesters. So what do we mean by random variable? So random variable is nothing but a function. Okay. So random variable is nothing but a function, and please note that it has nothing to do with random or nothing to do with variable. It is just a function. So what is that function about? So it is a function from the domain. The domain consists of the sample space of an experiment. So you are conducting an experiment. If you are conducting an experiment, there should be a sample space, and sample space is the set of all outcomes. So a random variable is a function that maps the outcomes to the set of all real numbers. Okay. So in our case, we will be dealing with mostly the integers, but in general it can be any real numbers. Okay. So random variable is not random, and nor it is a variable, but somehow that name has come into the terminology, and people are using that left and right. But consciously we should feel that it has nothing to do with the random, or it has nothing to do with the variable also. It is just a function. Okay, you will be able to find that function. It's a deterministic function actually. Okay, you can calculate the value. That is a function which maps the outcomes, the set of all outcomes to the set of all real numbers. So for example, if I consider an experiment, okay, so just have a look at this example. This is the example that I am putting in the Microsoft OneNote. Just expand this. So suppose we are conducting an experiment of tossing a coin, and we want to check how many times we have got heads in the experiment. Okay, so suppose you are tossing 3 times the coins, and the random variable is going to now map the number of heads that you get out of that 3 experiments. Okay, so suppose you get 3 times, all the 3 times you get heads. Okay, so this is all 3 times you have got head. So then that random variable is mapping that outcome to number 3. Okay, so how many times that head is coming, and that is what it is mapped to. Okay, and likewise if you take HTT, and that is also one of the possibility. The first time you are getting a head, and 2 times, the second and third time you are not getting the head, you are getting tails. So that means that random function is going to map that outcome HTT to 1. Okay, so that is this random function about. In general, if t is the outcome, then x of t is the random function that maps that outcome to some real number. Okay, so that is this random function. And another example we can give. So but before that, let me define what do we mean by a random distribution. Okay, so random distribution is a OneNote, and zoom that. What is a distribution? The distribution of a random variable x on a sample space S is a set of all pairs. What is that pair? You are taking the outcome and then mapping with what is the probability of getting that outcome. Okay, so that is that distribution which maps which has the pair r comma p of x equal to r. P of x comma equal to r is nothing but the probability of getting r as the outcome. Okay, so suppose the outcome that you are looking for is heads out of 3 experiments, then r is nothing but any of this outcome that can be HTT or HHH, whatever it can be. And what is the probability of getting that is the second coordinate in the coordinate. Okay, so if r denotes the outcome, p of x equal to r denotes the probability of getting that outcome, and that is the pairs, set of all pairs for which r belongs to x of s is nothing but the distribution of a random variable. Okay, so that is called as a random variable. So now let us map this to an example to get more clarification out of this definition. Let us see what are the examples now. Yes, so suppose the coin is flipped 3 times and you want to see the probability of getting various number of heads. Okay, so the experiment is simple. What is that experiment? You are tossing the coin 3 times and then you want to see the probability of getting 3 heads. Okay, so now let us see that. I will extend this. So suppose the coin is flipped 3 times and you want to see the probability of getting various number of heads, right? So what is the probability that you will get x is equal to 0? What do you mean by x is equal to 0? You are not seeing heads at all. So all 3 times you have seen tail. So what is that number of outcome that you can have, that TTT? That is the only possibility that you can have. So that is why the probability is 1 by 8 here. Okay, so there is only one possibility of getting no heads. So that is T, T and T. That's all. Okay, and then what is P of x equal to 1? P of x is equal to 1 is getting one head exactly. Okay, so one head is there and the other 2 are 2 heads, 2 tails, sorry. Okay, so how many choices you can have? One head is there and then 2 will be tails, so that is HTT. Likewise you can have THT, right? And likewise you can also have TTH. Okay. So there are only 3 choices you will have. So that is 3 divided by 8. What is the probability of getting one head out of 3 times you are tossing the coin? So why is that the denominator 8? 8 it is because each time you have 2 choices, so it will be 2 to the power 3. So that is why 8. Okay. So that is P of x is equal to 1. And now likewise, what is probability of getting 2 heads? And that you can also enumerate. So HHT it can be, or it can be THH, or it can be HTH. Okay, so THH, THH, or it can be HTH. So there are only 3 possibilities of that. So again the probability is 3 divided by 8. And P of x is equal to 3 is all 3 heads. So HHH. So that is the only chance you will get, right? So that is 1 by 8. So now we have listed out all the values, all the possible values, right? and the distribution now is, the probability distribution is this. So getting 3 value is 1 by 8, getting 2 heads is 3 by 8, getting 1 head is 3 by 8, and getting 0 head is 1 by 8, and that is nothing but the distribution that we are talking about. And the first coordinate is the outcome, that is 3 heads. Here the first coordinate is 2 heads, the first coordinate is 1 head outcome, and this is a 0 outcome. Okay, and the second coordinate is the probability of that. Okay, so this is called as the random distribution, the distribution of a random variable. Okay, so I hope you have understood what is random variable and distribution of a random variable.